On YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, bringing you guys I guess a Valentine's Day deck profile of Bujin. You guys were asking for it, I built it, and I thought it would be funny to build a deck for Valentine's Day, and I'm really going to kind of push this joke, which you would like to ideally share with the one, so I brought you a deck which focuses on the one. Bujin Yamato. So I'm going to be bringing you guys this profile today. You guys have been asking me for it. It's probably been one of my most asked things since Legacy of the Valiant came out. And, hey, why not? This is what I'm going to be profiling. This is literally what I've been trialing online. I haven't tested Bujin since the last time you saw it on my channel, so about a month or two ago. So, with that in mind, this is my build. There are a few choices I've made that are different from others, and this is not the Royal Decree version that I've been facing a lot of the time on Dueling Network, because I like my traps. So, we're going to get into the profile, and this is what I am playing. I am a big supporter of playing a lot of Beast Warriors, and you will realise that soon. So I'm playing 3 copies of Bujin Yamato, the one, the only, the guy you want to get to as fast as damn possible, because he is arguably the best monster in this main deck. Bujin Yamato is just incredible for this deck. Like, you can play Mikazuchi, you can play Arasuda, but nothing has the raw hand modulating power in this deck of Yamato. The ability to search any Bujin to your hand and then ditch one, it's perfect. It has so many uses, I love it to pieces. And then playing 3 copies of the other one, Bujin Mikazuchi. This is kind of the second favourite Bujin of people. Also, I should point out that I should probably give service to the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! GX thing, where people think that this is Jaden and this is Chaz, so we're playing 3 Jaden, 3 Chaz. The 3 Chaz, 3 Mikazuchi, or Mika as I call it for short. The 3 Mikazuchi are great. I've seen a lot of people play 2, but as I said, I really like having extra Beast Warriors in this build. And the great thing about Mikazuchi is it gives you a lot more survivability. If your opponent finds a way around the Yamato, often when they have Dark Hole to your Turtle, you still have another way to keep the board presence live, keep a monster on board so you can have the Crane in your hand live. Mikazuchi is just a way to say, I don't lose yet. So I really like those. And finally, we're playing 1 Bastion, 1 Bujin Arasuda. Bujin Arasuda is the new card from Legacy of the Valiant, which I'm not a massive fan of, but I know gets a lot better with the Primal Origin stuff. For those of you who don't know what it does, because I'm sure you know what Yamato and Mikazuchi do by now, if a Bujin monster in your graveyard or face up on your side of the field is banished, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand in face-up defense position, with a 1900 ass, so it's pretty big. Once per turn, during the end phase, if a Bujin card was added from your deck to your hand this turn, except by drawing it, while you control this face-up card, you can draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. And as per usual, like all the other big Bujin Beast Warriors, you can only control 1 Bujin Arasuda. So I really like this guy. You can use this effect A when you search with Yamato, or B when you search out your Yamato or Mikazuchi with Tenki. I do not use Peacocks in this build, so you can't get the Peacock play off with Arasuda as well. In the Peacock build, I play more Arasuda because of that. But these are the Beast Warriors I play. I play the 7. I don't play Bear anymore because I play the extra Mikazuchi and the Arasuda. I want to have more focus on the actual Bujin things. So that is our 7 Beast Warriors that we play. So I'm going to go over there. Now we play the Protection and the accompaniment of our Bujin Beast Warriors. For our beasts, we play double Bujin Hare. I'm so happy I get another bunny to play. I love my bunnies. I love Rescue Rabbit, Wind Up Rabbit, and now we have Bujingi Hare. Bujingi Hare is a brand new card from Legacy of the Valiant, which I'm going to read because when it's the new cards, I like to read them. During either player's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Beast Warrior type Bujin monster you control. Once during this turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. You can only use the effect of Bujingi Hare once per turn. So this card was, in my opinion, the missing link. Whereas before you had Turtle, which could protect your monsters from targeting effects, this can protect you from destruction effects that are non-targeting, and also protect you in situations in which you don't have the Crane, or your opponent's mind crush the Crane, or had a way of stopping the Crane. The 2 Bujingi Hare are in there for that. In my opinion, and in my testing, they have quickly become the strongest Bujin supporter in the deck. I absolutely love the card to pieces. But for all those situations that Hera isn't going to protect you from, we have 2 copies of Bujingi Turtle. Bujingi Turtle is awesome. It always has been awesome ever since Judgment of the Light where it came out. I don't really need to say anything about Turtle. And they're playing 1 Centipede. Centipede is in here at 1 because you always... It's searchable outs to back row that could be really ruining your day, and that's something that I feel every deck that can play should play. If you have a searchable out to something that hurts you, even in the game 1, you should main it, at least at 1, because then you can just go, okay, I don't need this, I'm not going to search it, it's at 1 in the deck, so I'm probably not going to see it, but when I need it, I can probably get access to it. So we have the 1 Centipede. And then accompanying that, I play 1 Quillen. Quillen is a similar thing now. Before, you didn't have the hair, so sometimes you had to lose your guy and then kill whatever killed it. Whereas now you have the hair, you can just protect your guy and you have an easier time killing what was gonna kill him, so you don't need the Quillen as much. Quillen is in here in a very similar capacity as Centipede. It's an out to things that are really slowing you down or really big problem cards. So that's why I play Quillen. Then, for the winged beasts, just our hand traps basically, I play 3 copies of Bujin Crane, in my opinion the most infamous card in this deck, other than Yamato, I guess. Bujin Crane is of course our Honest, which doubles the attack of your monster, your Bujin Beast Warrior, if it's attacked or attacks. So this card is outrageous, and it is what causes a lot of people to really hate this deck. And hey, if we're playing 3 Honests, we've got to play the man himself. We are playing another copy of Honest in the form of Honest. And it's lovely secret rare, so why not? Why not? So yeah, that is the complete monster lineup. I do not play any other hand traps other than the Honests in here. I don't like Veiler and Maxi in this deck because they don't contribute to the field presence objective of the deck. So, and almost all of them allow you to make some of the more closed off Xyzes like the Bujin ones and Constella. I forgot the name of it. Constella Omega. Right, onto the spells. I play 3 one-offs in the form of Darkhold, Book of Moon, and Miracle Fusion. Bujin Carnation. Bujin Carnation is an incredible card. You should know what it does from Judgment of the Light, but because it's incredible, I'm going to read it out to you. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, target 1 Bujin monster in your grave and 1 of your banished Bujin monsters, special summon both of them. They cannot be used as Xyz material or for an Xyz summon. Sorry, they cannot be used as Xyz material for an Xyz summon, except for the Xyz summon of a beast warrior or winged beast type monster. So I really like Bujin Carnation, mainly because it allows me to recycle my Bujinki hairs. One problem that I have with hair being so good is I use it a lot. So when it's gone, it's banished, and I'm not going to be playing Burial from the Different Dimension to put stuff back because I don't like that card. It's slow. This card kind of does that job for me. It gives me a hair back, or gives me a turtle back, or gives me a Quillen or a Centipede back, and supplies me with 2 monsters to the board, which I can immediately make a Bujin Susanoo with. It's pretty damn good. So this is the one-offs, which I'll move out of the way. I'm then playing double MST. I don't feel the 3 is exceptionally needed because I'm playing 2 Lance. But the double MST is in there for my opponent's 10 keys and just other stuff that Lance can't really shift. You know, continuous spells and whatnot. And then, of course, playing double Lance. Double Lance has a great utility with this deck. Lance is really strong against fire at the moment. I've been finding because they can sometimes bait out your hair with a bear pop and then try and swing. And maybe have the trap, and then you can immediately lance their guy. Or if they have a lance, they're going to try and swing with the bear. You can, if they lance, then you can lance. So it's pretty cool. I just really like it for those utilities, and it protects you from the myriad amounts of back row that the Bujin Mirror, Gear, and Fire will be playing against you. So those are those, and they've been serving me pretty well. I'm then playing triple Pot of Duality because you hardly ever special summon in this deck except when you have. When you're already ahead in game, like if you have a way to put 2 guys on board. And there are so many situations in which I have like a Yamato and a Mikazuchi, and I've summoned them both out, and I go, you know what, I'd rather just have a Yamato and Mikazuchi and get pluses off of their effects rather than go Susanoo or Kagazuchi. So that's why the dualities are there. And then, of course, the other card, which in my opinion really shouldn't have gone to 3, which gave this deck a lot more power, was the 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. I was discussing with a friend of mine actually at my testing session on Wednesday that this really shouldn't say Beast Warrior. It should really say Fire Fist because this gives so much strength to other decks as well. And those other decks are going to lead to getting it hit, and those other decks are going to lose out when it does get hit because of Fire Fist. So sad but true. The 3 Tenki are in there. This basically ensures, because of the way this deck is built, a lot of the time you do not open badly. You almost always open the Yamato that you need to find, and the only thing that's bad is the constitution of your hand and the possible lack of traps you may have. But that's a complete other thing that's a complete other block of theory that I'm not going to explore in this video. And now, speaking of the traps, I play 9 traps. I think, no, 10 traps, which is in my opinion a pretty good number for a control-based deck. I'm playing double Vanity's Emptiness. Vanity's Emptiness is really, really dumb in this deck. This deck plays around this card so easily and can explode if your opponent takes it out. You can sit there with your Yamato and your Mikazuchi, filtering through your deck using Yamato's effect because it gets around this, because it adds to hand before sending to graveyard, so it doesn't send from the deck. You can sit there building up your advantage, so you've got your Bujin Carnation in your hand, which you search with your Mikazuchi. You've got all these guys set up in grave, you've got Cranes in hand. All of these things that when they do their effects won't destroy the Vanity's Emptiness. So this card is incredible. I vastly prefer this card to Kaiser Colosseum as well, because Kaiser Colosseum you have to play, you can't hide it, and it will just get straight MST'd. Whereas Vanity's Emptiness you can use to force minuses. You can use this in response to the activation of certain monsters. Like certain mermail monsters especially, you can use this in response to your opponent putting themselves in very delicate plays when they try and make a synchro summon, because a lot of tuners are very weak. Like with Gigia, when they summon their tuner, you go Vanity's Emptiness. A lot of the monsters at that stage are very weak, so they're in a very bad position. So it has incredible utility, and I vastly prefer it to Kaiser Colosseum for that reason. I'm then playing triple Fiendish Chain. I really like Fiendish Chain at the moment, and I'm playing it in 3 in almost everything that I don't main hand traps in, because it shuts down so many things, slows down Mermail an incredible amount, especially against their Teus plays, and in some situations against their Pike Turge plays. It's really powerful against the Firefist matchup, which is a huge problem at the moment, and it's one of the few things that really slows down Gigia as well. So it's really good against the meta right now, and I wouldn't change it at all. And even in some capacities, it's good against Heretics, if they don't have the Su play. So that's them. I'm playing double Mirror Force. If you don't have Crane, or if you don't want to use the Crane, if this would lead to a +1 or a plus more, which sometimes sometimes does, play the Mirror Force. So Mirror Force is just a really good card for going plus, and in this deck sometimes you do go minus a bit if your opponent is quite conservative and doesn't allow you to make them go minus with Cranes and things like that. So the double Mirror Force is in here, and then I play 3 1-offs in the form of Bottomless, Torrential, which some people will say is counterintuitive, but it's the same logic I employed in the Rabbit deck profile. If you need a reset button, Torrential is your reset button. If you lose control of the table and you have a situation in which you will go plus by activating Torrential, do it! That's my mentality for that. And then the final card is Solemn Warning, bringing us to a main deck of 40 cards. So that is our complete main deck. And we're going to move on to the extra deck. I will quickly say I don't play the Bujingi Regalia, the sword, because I just don't like it. I've never really liked it that much. I feel that it's one of those cards where in this deck you really want to try and keep field presence, and if you lose your field presence, or if you're in a situation in which you want to add a Yamato or a Mikazuchi back to your hand, you're probably losing already. Yes, I know it's very gimmicky in adding the Bujingi Crane back to your hand when your opponent attacks, especially when you don't have anything in hand and they think they can go, wee, attack. But there are so many situations in which you will always have Crane in hand because your opponent spends so much time playing around it that you really don't need the sword that much, because people play around the Crane too much. So a lot of the time the sword will stay dead or very ineffective. So for the extra deck, we're going to move on to that now. I play double Bujin Te Susanoo. I'm really tempted to play a third, because there are some situations in which I actually make it. Susanoo is incredible, and this is one of the cards which really makes me want to play Horn of the Phantom Beast, but I still don't, because it has been very inconsistent in the past. Bujin Te Susanoo reads, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. So now you can see why this would be cool with Horn of the Phantom Beast, attacking loads of things and drawing loads of cards. And then once per turn you can detach an Xyz material and search for one Bujin card and add it to either your hand or the grave from the deck. So he's pretty broke in my opinion. He's a really good card. I'm currently playing 2 copies of Bujin Te Kagutsuchi. This is for 2 reasons. One, because I think Kagutsuchi is ridiculous, and while I almost only ever make one of these, making a second one is always really nice. And this is also the spot that Bujin Te Tsukuyomi will take up when I actually get a hold of one. I don't have a Tsukuyomi, surprisingly, even though it's like really cheap. But at the same time, I tested it on Dueling Network, and I've never once needed to make it. So that's the thing. But Kagutsuchi is incredible. Milling the top 5 cards of your deck is actually a really good effect if you make it really early. If you make this card really early on, the mills are almost always going to be Bujins, and there's going to be quite a few, and I'm regularly getting this guy out on 28 if I make him in the first couple of turns. So Kagutsuchi is a card, and now we're going to move on to the more generic stuff. We play 1 copy of Brotherhood of the Firefist Tiger King. This is in here as a secondary option to Kagutsuchi, because you can use him as a skill drain, and he can search out a Tenki so he can replace the Yamato or Mikazuchi or Arasuda that you used to make him, well, not the Arasuda because I only play one, but you can replace one of his materials, so he's good for your economy like that. He makes himself 23 by searching out that tanky, and then you can skill drain certain things which could be giving you a hard time. Continuing on, I play one Constellar Omega because it gets me around back row. If my opponent's S5, I want to make Omega as fast as possible. Long story short, unless I have loads of guys engraved to protect my guys, so as long as I have if I have turtle hair, I'm great, but sometimes I don't, so Omega is in there for that. One Diamond Direwolf because we're running a deck where every monster except Honest is a Beast Warrior or Winged Beast, so why not? Direwolf is in there. Number 101, Silent Monarch. If you want my reasonings for this, check the review. Same thing for Exciton Knight. Yes, we do play a lot of back row, but again, it's in situations like the Torrential, in which if you need it, it's there. This extra deck has a lot of space in it. You can really play around with this extra deck, but Exciton Knight is in there for the situations in which you need to make it. If your opponent has a massive advantage on you, hey, Exciton Knight is the thing. The one Abyss Dweller, because mermails are huge now, thanks to Patrick Hoban, even though 3 weeks ago when I was playing it was literally not touched, and now everyone's calling me a bandwagoner, even though I was playing the deck long before that. Playing a one Love Chain, because sometimes you want to set things up, set things into the grave. I hardly ever make this, and to be honest, a lot of the time you probably won't need to, but it's in there. The one Maystroke, because it's incredibly strong and very, very versatile. The one Dagusto Emerald for the situations in which you run out of Beast Warriors, or you just need to put things back in the deck. The one Gaga Cowboy, because 800 burn is cool, and it kills over quite a few things. And the final card I'm playing in the extra, which I actually kind of thought long and hard about, was number 85, Crazy Box. For the Skill Drain matchup, if your opponent drops Skill Drain on you, you can Crazy Box, which is pretty nice. So that is the complete main deck for Bujins. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've had a lot of fun making this deck for the one, finding your Valentine, Bujin Yamato. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know what you want to see next. I think my next deck profile is going to be Evil Swarm, because I've been getting a few messages about Evil Swarm. So yeah, let me know what you want to see next, as per usual, and I will see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. And I've also got regionals coming up on the weekend, which I'm going to try and record from. So yeah, this has been Jamie the Kid 00. Peace out. Bye.